All right, Rabosai, good morning. Let us begin. We are picking up today in a new os, a new section in Tzidkas Hatzaddik, os nun tes, page kuf mem aleph. So let's begin in the bottom left-hand corner of the Bi'urei Chasidus, where the Rabbi gives us a beautiful introduction to this os. So he writes as follows. So os nun tes is we're going to see a little bit of a continuation of nun ches. So here we go. Mechevon shechova ala adam ladas mahim hapegamim sha'alav letakim. So remember, say the last part we left off with in nun ches was a really fascinating idea that Hatzaddik explained that there is a certain element, there's a certain gift in chait. What's the gift in chait? That chait exposes one's weakness. When I sin, I know exactly the area in which I am deficient. When I sin, I know exactly what needs to be fixed. When I sin, I now see what areas I need to address. So, since there's an obligation upon a person to actively address we'll call it the pegamim, the blemishes, the internal blemishes that I have, uletoeles zubaim lepamim michsholim laadam, and therefore sometimes when I stumble, right, my stumbling, my acts of stumbling are actually a toeles. There's actually a benefit in that, because again, like I said before, those mistakes and those missteps help to highlight to me the areas in which I need to address and to fix. Kimora ba'al sakodemes. Yesh lo ladas sha'al yidei limud haTorah bilvad yochol levarer es ma shetzarech letakin. So this is very interesting. He says there's another piece to this. See, a person was like a thing to themselves, well, then I guess maybe I have to wait until I sin in order to figure out what I need to fix. Now, of course, that's not exactly a very good way to approach self-improvement, because again, the goal, of course, is avoidance of sin whenever possible. The Rebbe is kind of speaking in page Kuf Mem Aleph. The Rebbe is kind of speaking over here in terms of like, once I'm sinning, the quote-unquote benefit of sin is that I get to see my deficiencies, see what's broken, and see what I need to address. But of course, the goal is avoidance of sin. So if my goal is avoidance of sin, yet the benefit of sin is that it shows me my deficiencies, what's broken, where I need to address, how do I figure out all of that stuff without sinning? Right? Isn't that the goal of life? Meaning, it's going to sound strange, I want the benefit, but here, let me explain the statement. I want the benefit of sin without sinning. Now, what does that mean? I want the benefit of sin in that I want to know what I have to fix without potentially having to make the mistakes, which is the ultimate goal. So, of course, part of it is, we know, as we go on in life, you can't really do that, right? You have to make the mistakes in order to know what to fix. But on some level, is there the ability to kind of achieve the self-awareness that sin brings without having to go through the pain, the agmas nefesh, the difficulty that sinning itself creates? And the Rebbe says to a certain degree, yes. How can you accomplish that? And this is incredible. He says through learning Torah. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? He says, Yesh lo ladas sha'al yidei limud haTorah bilvad yochol levarer es ma shenitzrach letakin. Through learning, we also have the ability to go ahead and shed light and come to an understanding as to what needs to be fixed. Now, how does that work? This is incredible. Quotes over here the Shlah Kadosh, who says, Shetorah nikrakim milashon more derech. Torah is called Torah. Why is Torah called Torah? See, he's going to discuss that Torah comes from Lashon of Horah, but we'll get into the etymology in just a moment. But he comes from Lashon of More Derech. What's a More Derech? A More Derech is like a compass, right? Or a tour guide. More Derech, someone or something to teach you, More to teach, Derech, the way. He says, Hainu, Shehi, page Kuf Mem Beis, Hainu, Shehi, More, Umilamedes la'adam, eich b'yachalaso l'takin is pigmei nafsho. So the Rebbe says something truly beautiful over here. That what is the point of Torah? And he's going to develop this. The point of Torah is to highlight and to show a person how I can fix that which is broken or blemished inside of me. Ve'in ritzoni lomar b'zeh. Say this is incredible, because Reb Tzaddik essentially is going to go on to develop that we often sell Torah a little bit short. We sell Torah short, because he says ve'in ritzoni lomar b'zeh she'amru she'torah hi milashon hora rak b'ma she'torah milamedes osanu es hachukim v'hamishpatim lohoros es ha'maaseh sheyasu. Because many times, Seif said the notion that Torah means hora, means instruction, that's not a chiddush. But he says what people often misunderstand is they think that the only thing that Torah does for us is to teach us a series of do's and don'ts. Right? That's what Torah does. Teaches us chukim and mishpatim. You could do these things, you can't do these things. Do a lot of this, don't do any of this. Engage in this and avoid this. Ella, so the Rebbe says, while of course that's true, that's only one element of Torah. That's only one aspect. Ella horas haTorah la'adam higam be'etzem halimut. He says there is something profoundly cathartic in the process of learning Torah. And I will say, what Reb Tzaddik is highlighting here is an unspoken dynamic that I think we have all experienced, but here Reb Tzaddik is giving verbal form to it. I will say, do you know where the true power of learning? Why is it? Think about this just a moment. There's such like an emphasis on learning, right? Why? Why the emphasis? Why the emphasis on Talmud Torah in such a great degree? So of course, on one basic level, because in order to be a good Jew, you have to know what to do. Right? It's no different. You wanna get your license, you have to study the driver's manual, because you have to know, how many car lengths you need between you and the car in front of you, right? You need to know how many feet, how long you have to stop for the stop sign. You need to know the laws in order to pass the test. So I need to know the halachas in order to be a functional Jew. The Tzaddik says, what happens when you learn Torah? What happens when you learn? The process of learning and engaging in the Ribono Shel Olam's Torah makes me a more thoughtful and introspective introspective person. So I will say, we know this. You feel different when you learn. You just feel different. You just become a different kind of person. Now, is that because I know now what to do better in the world? I'm a better person because I know how to keep Shabbos better, because I'm learning the halachos of Malabin. Is that it? Right? I know I'm a better person because now I'm learning Yuma. I'm going to know how to observe Yom Kippur. But is that what we're saying over here? Reb Tzaddik is saying there's something much more profound. When I engage in Torah, when there's an unspoken dynamic that allows me to be more introspective. And it's that unspoken dynamic that allows for introspection, that allows me to seek out the root of the things which are in a state of disrepair. And I will say we know this. We know this because you feel different after you learn. He goes on, he says, he gives a proof to this, a quote-unquote proof. Says, I'm going to show you that learning has an impact on you that allows you to be a more introspective and thoughtful person, even and not related per se to an enhanced knowledge of operational Judaism. What's the proof to this? This is incredible. Shahare gam kisha adam lomed as dine seder kodshim hamidaber be'inyan akravas hakarbanos nikra v'nechshav lo hadavar shu osek b'Torah. What's the proof? Let's say a person is learning kodshim. We've had experience with this. We spent a lot of time on the Masechah Shkalim, right? Even in Yuma, we've had sugyas again of karbanos. So I'm learning karbanos, right? And I'm going to say in general, how do we relate to a sugya of karbanos? Hari shegam as haTorah mora as darko umadricha oso keitza takin es nafsho af shadavar eino nogea ke'ez l'maiseh b'poel. See that both sides. When I learn a sugya of kachim, for example, what's the relevance of a sugya of kachim to me right now? What's the relevance? None of us, right? We saw this. We're learning sugyas in Yuma about the Beis HaMikdash. What's the relevance right now? Right now, today, it's Monday. What's the relevance this moment? And the answer is nothing right now. Again, Amir Hashem Rabbi Aminu, we're going to have a third Beis HaMikdash. Hopefully, we're spending a lot of time on this. Hopefully, the blueprint is going to be similar, right? That's what I hope. Right? So therefore, again, we will go ahead and Mirz Hashem know the layout. But Lamaisa, is there a takeaway for me? Okay, sometimes there's a hashkafic takeaway, but is there a halacha Lamaisa takeaway for me? And the answer often is no. But yet, I feel changed by the limud. I feel changed by the learning. I am a different person. And yes, I am more thoughtful. I am more introspective. How does that occur? How does that occur, says Hatzaddik? So if Torah was just operational, right? And if Torah at the end of the day was just to go ahead and teach me what to do and what not to do, so then I would emerge from a sugin kachim and I would say, all right, I mean, I just kind of feel like I spun my wheels a little bit, right? I didn't really do anything over here. But the fact that I feel changed, and the fact that I feel different, and the fact that I feel that there's something that's been sparked inside of me, even when I learn something that's not halacha l'maisa, indicates to me the power of Talmud Torah. He goes on, he says, Hari shegam az, we'll finish with this line. Hari shegam az haTorah moralo as darko. Madricha also, because we'll say even when I'm learning something that is not halacha l'maisa, or I'm learning something that doesn't have a quote unquote practical day-to-day application right in this moment. He goes on, he says, nevertheless, morlo es darko, umadrichos eketzel atakin es nafsho, al av shadavar eino nogia leis l'maisa b'poel. So I will say, Rav Tzaddik develops this idea, and I think this is really so incredibly profound, because sometimes, all of us are used to this emphasis on learning. Learning. But sometimes it's not explained to us why learning is important. So of course, there's an operational piece to our learning. The operational piece to our learning is, I need to know what to do in life. So I have to learn Yiddishkeit in order to know how to be a good practicing Jew. But on a deeper level, Reb Tzaddik says the power of learning is that it awakens us to our deficiencies. The power of learning is that it causes us to be thoughtful. The power of learning is that it sparks a need for introspection. And that's irrespective of the material which is being studied. Even if what I'm studying has really nothing to do with my life, so to speak, the act of engaging in Torah by definition sparks a process of introspection. That's the process of introspection that's normally only sparked when, here's incredible, when's the only other time that it's normally sparked? When I sin, right? Isn't this incredible? And that's normally when this process is sparked. When I commit an Aveira, I realize, I'm deficient, I have shortcomings, I need to work on that. Rav Tzaddik says there's a way to jumpstart that process of introspection, even without the chait. And it's called Torah. Right, we'll stop over here. We're going to pick up with this theme in Mirz Hashem tomorrow. Shkoyach.